Seeing that the clock is getting ready to strike 7 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and call to order the Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, March 12th. Item number 1, please rise and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 2. Roll call. Commissioner Hammer.
Here.
Commissioner Proctor.
Here.
Commissioner Dunn.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Jensen.
Here.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Also joined by Commissioner Gossett as our alternate. We need to excuse Chairman Robinson this evening and welcome to Mr. Page, Mr. Agard, Mr. Baker, Mr. Hanson, and Ms. Fairborn. Item number 3, public hearing decision on a conditional use permit application to authorize the use of a private educational facility at 67 East, 1280 North in the General Commercial Zoning District by Zach Powell.
Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Page.
Here's an aerial view showing the proposed location of this Lightline Air private educational facility. It's just kind of east of the Paulo Burger, accesses off of 1280 North Street or Pine Canyon Road. The current zoning is commercial general. This use requires a conditional use permit through the Planning Commission. Here's kind of a detailed site plan showing Nightline Air kind of in the bottom right corner with the other existing businesses, United Slice, which is a pizza restaurant, Dependable Oxygen Company, Allstate Insurance, and Remedies Salon. One of the questions that staff was looking at would be the parking requirements. Talked with the Allstate Insurance and Dependable Oxygen and the other existing tenants and looked at our current parking requirements for those uses. Nightline Air, they're anticipating needing maybe up to 6 stalls maximum from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on occasion maybe up to 20 stalls from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Given these requirements and anticipated need, staff anticipates the maximum total needed be 39 and probably substantially less than that during most business hours, with the current site showing 44 stalls. So I'd be glad to address any questions you might have at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Page. Any questions from the Commission? Welcome, Councilwoman Manzio. Okay, thank you. Not seeing any questions from the panel. This does require a public hearing, so we'll open the public hearing. Ask anyone from the public that's come to address this issue. Please come forward. Leave us your name and number there on the podium. Assume that's where the paper is. And come forward. Seeing not much of a bull rush on the front, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the Commission for further questions or some actions.
Just a reminder, the applicant is here at the meeting tonight.
Can't remind us something you didn't tell us the first time. Would the applicant like to speak to this issue? Smart man, okay.
I'll make a motion if there's no questions.
Okay. Do you want us to be a little more specific on your motion?
Yes, I move we approve the conditional use permit request by Zach Powell representing L.E. Briggs & Son LTD to authorize the use a private education facility to occur at the subject property application number 2025-021 based on the findings and subject to conditions listed in staff report dated March 7th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Proctor. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Hamilton seconds. Roll call vote. Commissioner Hammer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan also votes. The rule that passes 7-0. Item number 4, public hearing and decision on a conditional use permit application for commercial daycare / preschool involving the care of 8 to 16 children in the home located at 237 West Barra in the R17 zoning district. The request by Agustina Aguero. Mr. Page.
Yes, the applicant is here also for this application. So yeah, this is a use that requires a conditional use permit by the Planning Commission in the R17 zone. It's for commercial daycare / preschool. Here's an aerial view showing Barra Boulevard, just to the north where you access the property, and just to the south is the railroad tracks. Here is a zoning map showing the R17 zone. And here's some pictures of the property showing the driveway and the frontage of the property. The applicant has provided this drop-off and pickup area where essentially she would just have all the patrons come and drop off and pick up their children on the right side of the road. We've talked with the city engineer, and he feels that the Barra Boulevard is of sufficient width that this should be a problem for the property owners next door. The applicant requests the following hours of operation: Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., and on Saturdays with appointment from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. Staff's recommendation is that the applicant meet all of the state of Utah license requirements, and they meet all the city home occupation business license requirements. And then just a possible concern would be the drop-off might be a little bit early if it's at 6 a.m., so staff is proposing maybe be from 6:30 a.m. and no later than 7 p.m. And then again, that the applicant meet all the applicable building and fire codes that will be necessary. With that, I'd address any questions you might have.
Mr. Page, questions from the commission? Seeing none, this also requires a public hearing. We'll declare that public hearing open.
So could I just add, this conditional use permit and the previous one, we met all the noticing requirements for the state and the city. So we've received no public comment for these two issues.
Thank you. Okay, anyone from the public who would like to rise and speak on this subject? Same stipulation you just heard. Please leave your name and contact information. I will give you just a second if you wish one when we close the public hearing. Seeing none, let's close the public hearing. Would the applicant like to speak to us? No, you do not have to.
I wish. My English is not very well, but
You probably do better than most of us up here, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Back to the, let's see, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission for further action.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Please.
I move we approve the request for conditional use permit application number 2025-022 by Agustina Aguero to allow the operation of a home occupation daycare involving the care of 8 to 16 children on the property addressed 237 West Barra Boulevard, located in the R17 zoning district, based on the findings and fact, and subject to the conditions listed in the staff report dated March 7th, 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner Jensen. We have a second from Commissioner Anderson. Roll call vote. Commissioner Hammer?
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Mr. Jensen?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson? Aye. Commissioner Sloan also votes aye. Rule that passes 7-0. Item number 5. Decision on a site plan review request by Jasmine Santos, representing Wasatch Seasons Properties LLC, to approve the site plan application for a Jack in the Box fast food restaurant on .688 acres on the southeast corner of 600 North and Main Street in the General Commercial Zoning District. Mr. Page.
Chair, this is a much anticipated application. Site plan for Jack in the Box. And so you can see it highlighted here in this aerial photograph. It's from the southeast corner of 600 North and Main Street. Here's the zoning of that area, which is all general commercial. Here's a site plan, and then this is a more detailed site plan. The parking requirement for this use is 8 stalls, and this site plan provides 17 plus 2 ADA parking stalls. UDOT has approved the access onto and off of Main Street. And you might notice that there's a access off of and onto 600 North closest to Main Street that has been, will be eliminated with this site plan and provide a little more safety and queuing. So they'll have access off of 600 North a little bit farther to the east. Here's a landscape plan. The code requires 10%. They are providing 25% landscaping. It'll be drip irrigation, no sod. It meets the requirements of a 15-foot landscape strip in the front. It also meets the requirements of a 50-50 mix between evergreen and deciduous trees and shrubs, with 60% of the shrubs and 60% of the trees having a caliber of 2 inches or more and a height of 5 feet. And then it also meets the requirement of having a park strip every 30 feet. Just for your information, here's some site plan elevations. The city currently does not have any standards for commercial elevations or architecture guidelines, but here's the front elevation and the side. I like the purple, Tooele purple there for late night.
Nice touch.
Yeah, the rear elevation and then the drive-through elevation. This site previously received a conditional use permit through the Planning Commission for an accessory drive-through. Would recommend approval with the conditions listed in the staff report. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to address those at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Page. Questions from the commission? I knew none of you were going to stand in the way of this one. This one does not require a public hearing. It's a straight-up decision on the site plan review. So if there are no further questions, I will look for a motion.
Chair, I move we approve site plan design and review request by Jasmine Santos representing Wasatch Seasons Property LLC for Jack in the Box fast food restaurant at the southeast corner of 600 North and Main Street. Application number 2024061, based on the findings and subject to the conditions in the staff report dated March 7th, 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. And the second from Commissioner Proctor. Commissioner Hammer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan also votes aye. Rule that passes 7-0. Item number 6, a decision on a preliminary subdivision plat request by Leo Mantes representing WLG LLC for a one-lot platted subdivision on 2.05 acres located at 2284 North, 470 East in the Industrial Service Zoning District. Mr. Page.
Thank you. So here's an aerial view. It's situated just north of 2200 North and between 470 East and 540 East. It requires a subdivision because there's some road dedication and also it's a commercial subdivision. Here's the zoning. It's industrial service. And here's the preliminary plat for your consideration. Staff recommends approval based on that the applicant follows all engineering, public works, building, and fire requirements, that a geotechnical report be followed, and that an emergency vehicle turnaround shall be constructed at the end of 540 South as required by the city engineer and according to city standards and specifications for emergency vehicle turnaround.
Mr. Chairman, could I
Of course.
piggyback on that a little bit?
Mr. Hagar.
Kent jumped into this project long after it had began. Kent, can you go back to the preliminary plan? I just wanted to point out where that road dedication is on the plat. On the southeast corner, there is almost a square piece of property at the end of the street. That is the portion that's going to be dedicated, extending that road south. You'll also notice that there is a half circle located on the eastern boundary of the property. That is an existing turnaround easement that was required previously for emergency vehicles. As you know, there is a hotel built on that site now. So we are requiring that the emergency turnaround be extended south so that emergency vehicles, snowplows, wayward semi-trucks and so forth can turn around when they get in there. That's why we're requiring them to construct it in the new location, because the old location is now under hotel. So just for your information, that's Those are two of the particulars with this subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. Agard. Any questions, comments from the commission? Did you have anything else, Mr. Page?
No, thank you.
At this point, then, we'll look for a motion or further action from the commission.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion. I move we approve the preliminary subdivision plan request by Leo Mantis representing WLG LLC for Microtel Modia Hotel Application 23-16/2230665 based on the findings and subject to conditions listed in the staff report dated March 7th, 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner Proctor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Hammer. Commissioner Hammer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan also votes aye. Rule that passes 7-0. And on to number 6, the highlight of the evening, City Council report.
Hopefully it's the highlight. Just kidding. We did not have a work meeting last week, but we did have our business meeting. We did approve the rezone on the area on 1405 Conifer Street that you had on your last meeting. So that was approved. And then I would just like to let everybody know that our fire station number 3 is pretty much done. And so look for an invitation to the open house later this month. Hopefully you'll all be able to come. We're expecting a truck and soon. It's on the way, right?
So do they drive the truck here or they?
They drive the truck here.
Oh, for fun.
Are you driving it?
The company drives the truck here.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
That's no fair.
So once it's here, we'll have that open house. I think it's the 29th. So,
Excellent.
yeah. Anything?
Thanks.
Do you have any questions for me? All right,
Thank you,
thank
Councilor.
you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Item number 8, review and decision of the minutes from the February 26th meeting.
There are no additions or corrections. I move to approve the minutes from February 26th, 2025.
Okay, motion from
second.
Commissioner Hammer, second from Commissioner Hamilton. Commissioner Hammer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Proctor?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton?
Aye.
Commissioner Jensen?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan also votes aye. Rule that passes 7-0. Discussion. Nothing vague about that. Who's doing the discussing?
This might have been left over from the previous agenda, but if you have any
Anything
feedback
anybody
or
want to talk about?
I do.
if you have anything feedback for the staff you'd want us to look into, we'd be glad to hear that this time.
I'm sure we do. Commissioner Hammer has something she would like to talk about.
I don't think that we've made assignments for pre-development
I was
meetings.
just thinking about
So
that,
I'd
yeah.
like to see if we can do that
Okay.
tonight.
Are we prepared to do that from a staff standpoint, or do we need to come back in 2 weeks to do that?
Can we address that at the next meeting?
Is
I'll be
there
better prepared for
anything
that.
that will happen between now and the next meeting?
We don't have anything scheduled yet,
Okay.
right now.
Have you been having attendance of late from the planning
Not of
commission?
late. We haven't been having a lot of pre-development meetings either. Been kind of a lull in prospective development right now.
If we could have that discussion and flesh that out for you at the next meeting.
Okay, I'll have it on the agenda for you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Anyone else? Okay, I'll look for one more motion.
Move to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.